Kia ora, I'm Penny from Tauranga Library. Did you enjoy the story about the small rhinoceros and her adventures? I thought that you might like to make your own boat, a bit like the small rhinoceros's boat. And the first thing we need to do is to cut out the part of the milk bottle that we're going to use as the boat. So we're going to be using this bottom bit along here, below the neck of the bottle. So to make sure we cut it in a straight line, we're going to make a mark on the bottle first, and we're going to use a ruler to make sure we get it nice and straight. So we want to line up the top of our ruler so it's level with the edge of the neck, and we're going to use a felt pen to draw along. And then we need to draw another line along the bottom of the bottle, like that, and then along this side of the bottle. And hopefully our lines will match up when we get to the neck. How did we do? Doesn't look too bad. So just extend the line round below the neck of the bottle and to the other side. There is our line to cut along. Now to get started, we're going to need to use a sharp knife to make a little hole in the bottle. So you hold the bottle by its handle, so this hand is right away from the knife. We put the knife on the line, just give it a little wiggle, and we're through. So now we can use the scissors to cut the rest of it. You need quite strong scissors. I'm using kitchen scissors rather than sort you'd usually use for cutting paper. It's relatively easy cutting the sides, but when you get to the bottom that's a lot thicker, so it's a bit tougher. You might need some help with the bottom. And then round the other side. Also a bit tough, and then to join up. And now we have a nice boat shape. We've got the prow, the front of the boat, and the stern is the back of the boat. If you've got some paint, you can paint your boat. When I painted mine, I made the mistake of painting the outside. And then when I put it in the bath, even though the paint was dry, after a while the paint started washing off. So instead, I suggest you paint the inside of the boat. You'll need to have it nice and dry. Mine's still a bit wet. If you paint the inside of the boat, then it won't be in contact with the water when you try and float it in the bath or somewhere. But because the bottle is see-through, you'll still be able to see the colour from the outside. And what I also did was I chose a name for my boat, which I wrote on the front here. Mine was called Rhino 1. I used permanent marker, so that shouldn't wash off in the water. So we've got our boat, but we really need a sail. You might have a spare chopstick at home, or otherwise you might be able to go outside and find a stick to be your mast. You need to stick the mast in our boat. There's a couple of options for doing this. If you've got hot glue gun, then that's a really good way of sticking it in nice and firmly. You need a great big wadge of hot glue, and you're going to need to hold the mast there until the hot glue dries. Another option is plasticine, or you can use Play-Doh. Now, if you don't have any Play-Doh at home, I'm going to put a recipe for making Play-Doh on the end of this video. Very simple. You should have most of the ingredients. If you don't have the cream of tartar, it doesn't matter, you can leave that out. So you need a great big ball of Play-Doh, which you're going to put in the bottom of your boat. It doesn't actually stick very well to your boat, but that's okay. It will normally just stay in place. And then you put your mast into it and just mould the Play-Doh around the mast. And over time the Play-Doh will dry out, but will still hold that mast firmly. There we go. Now you might think you could just sellotape the mast to the end of the boat, but the problem with that is the actual boat itself is really light. So if you just sellotape the mast to the end of the boat or to the side of the boat and put it in the water, you'll find your boat will tip over as the weight of the mast will unbalance it. But with the Play-Doh or plasticine or hot glue in the middle, that provides some weight which will help keep your boat stable. Our boat is almost finished. We just need a sail to go on our mast. You can use any sort of paper for this. I just happened to have a notepad that was just the right size, but I want a triangular sail, so I'm going to use my ruler and put it diagonally from edge to edge, and then I'm just going to use that as a guide to fold my paper over to make a triangle. And then I'm just going to cut along the fold. There we go. And to attach the fold to the mast, I'm going to use sellotape. I'm going to put a strip on the top, half on the sail and half over the edge, and the same down the bottom. And then I can just attach it to the mast, wrapping the sellotape around the mast and back onto the piece of paper. And there you are, you have your boat. So that was a pretty easy thing to make, it didn't take too long. If you're feeling really creative, you can watch the next video and find out how to make a rhinoceros to put in your boat. Happy sailing. Bye.